Boom. I think we're live. So thanks everyone for tuning in once again. Another episode of Real Ball Talk today. In the first edition of what we call the Diary of a Pro. We got a special guest here today. We got Mr. Joel Nouble. How you doing, bro? Aldershot Town striker.
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you?
Good, thanks. Good, thanks. Good, thanks. Obviously, we got my man Jalil in the building from Real Ball Talk. How you doing, Jalil?
All good, man. All good. Exciting to find out, what Joel has to say today. So all good.
Yeah. No, 100. Joel, man, I appreciate you taking your time, obviously.
Oh, my pleasure, man. My pleasure.
First of all, like, how's everything been? How's the family been through this crazy year, man?
Yeah, no, everyone's been good. With my family, most of them are working at NHS, so even if people have been on lockdown and not been going work, for us it's been normal. Nothing really changed a lot. Everyone's still going out as normal. So, but no, everyone's good, man. Everyone's good.
No, happy to hear that. So yeah, man. Obviously you signed for Aldershot Town this summer. They're currently in the conference. I think that's the 5th division. Fifth division. So like, how's the team currently doing? Where are you guys at, and just generally, how is it going for yourself?
Well, the season so far has literally been up and down. We played Yeovil the other day. We lost that 3-0.
Yeah.
We played Woking just before we won. So we literally win a game, lose a game, might draw. So like we're literally up and down. I think I didn't check the table. We might be, I think, like 15th, 16th, but the table is so tight. If we win like the next two, could literally be a point outside playoffs. If you win the next two, you're in a relegation battle. So it is very tight at the moment. For myself personally, I haven't really been playing as much as I would like. I started the first 2 league games, and I haven't started a league game since. I've been on the bench every game. I've come on in like 3 or 4 games, so I ain't played as much as I would have liked. But that is football. But as a team, we're literally up and down at the moment.
Yeah. So yeah, I think you mentioned like a couple of wins could get you close to the playoffs. Huh?
Yeah.
Who would you say this season looks like the favourites from your league to go up?
I'll say Torquay.
Oh yeah.
If you check the table, Torquay, I think they're like 9 points clear with maybe like a game in hand. Yeah, already. Yeah. No, Torquay, they're on fire now. We played earlier on, and in the first half, you wouldn't think that they're going to be flying because we was winning 1-0. They literally got a goal at half time, and it was like a keeper's mistake. But up to that point, they didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. But second half, they scored 4 goals, so 4-1. And I'm thinking, wow. But after that, no, they're like 9 points clear. I think it might have even been 11. I don't know. They're at the moment, they're flying. If they don't win the league, it's their fault because at the moment, you can't be like 9 points clear. That's like, you got to lose 3 games for a team to catch you up. So I would say Torquay, so far, they probably look the best team, to be fair.
Yeah. No, that's fair. And who would you say is like one player from your division who, when you've seen him like this season, you said, "Nah, this guy ain't for this level. He's moving up." Apart from yourself, obviously,
One player, I'll probably say Torquay. There's a winger called, I think he's like Dean. I think it's Dean Whitehead. Like, he's a short winger. Then in the second half, he took over the game, man. And I'm watching him thinking, nah, he's a very good player. But I think he's like 24 as well, so he's still at a good age. But no, he's a very good player. Probably say him.
Okay, cool. So yeah, man. Let's take it back now. Obviously, you've played football for a long time. So yeah, man. Where did that football journey begin for you? Like, is it something that as soon as you can remember?
Yeah, I'll say probably from what I can remember, probably like 4 or 5. So we used to live in blocks in Deptford. My dad used to take me and my older brother literally to the park, like right in front of the flats. So all I can remember was my dad would literally do passes with us all day. Like after school, we'll come back, do passes outside until it's dark. My mom would be like calling us in, but we used to love it. So then from around 6 years old, there was a club called Red Lions, literally by Surrey Quays, but it's shut down now. But there was a club called Red Lions when the only reason I got into it because my older brother was already there. Yeah. I was too young, so they didn't have my age group at the time. So the only age group they had was from under 8s, but I was 6 years old. So I was 6 playing up with the under 8s. So, but they didn't know my age. So when I told them that I'm 6 years old, they're thinking, like, you're not even meant to be here. But because I was doing so well at the point, they let me stay. So I was only there for about, I think about 5-6 months. But in them 5-6 months, I was just scoring like 4 or 5 goals every game. So they kind of just allowed me to stay. And from there, I went straight into the academy, straight to Chelsea. I was only in Sunday League for about 6 months. Most people tell you they've been in it for maybe 3-4 years, but I was literally in Sunday League for only 6 months and got picked up.
Go on, Joel.
It's interesting you mentioned that you played with 8-year-olds when you were 6. What was the drive? Because most people would have waited another 2 years to the club. But what was the drive for you to go in at the age of 6 and start playing with 8-year-olds?
I probably didn't even deep it like that. I was playing with 8-year-olds. I just saw a ball. When you're 6 years old, you're just running around. Like, there's no tactics. There's no play here, play there. I was literally just running with the ball, kicking it, scoring. So I don't even think my dad even realised that I wasn't even meant to be there. It's because my older brother was already there. He kind of thought, because he's there and he's going training, and I'll just send the younger one as well. Just probably leave us both from the house, like give them a bit of time, like probably just to get us out the house. But I didn't really take it in. I was just thinking, I thought this was normal. Because when I was in Deptford, it was playing cages. Even was a bit later on. When I'm playing with my older brother, I'm playing with all these friends. So they're all like 5-6 years older than me. So I'm used to playing with older people. So when I got told I'm with under 8s, I just thought, okay, I'm under 8 anyway. I'm 6 years old, so I might as well just play. So no, don't really take it in at such a young age. When you look back now, I'm thinking, if my little brother, when he was 6, I'm thinking, well, are you putting him in with 8-year-olds? I'm actually to wait a bit, let him just play with his age. But no, I didn't even really take it in, to be fair.
But you know what? And tell me if you disagree. I feel like when you're young and you play with the olders, that's what takes you up to another level.
No, 100%. I agree, because you have to adapt. You have to adapt. At that age, physically might not be too much of a difference. Probably when you're in your teens, you'll probably feel the difference more. But I think that's the best thing when you're playing with older people, because you're not going to get your own way. There's going to be people faster, stronger than you. So you have to find other ways to beat them. So no, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
It's more of a challenge.
Yeah. And does that mean that you signed for Chelsea then at what, the age of 7?
Yeah, age of 7, yeah. So this was before Mourinho was there. Abramovich wasn't even there yet.
Damn.
So we was training in at Battersea Park. There was a Astro place there. When they were doing like under. I went there when I was 7, so I was under 8s. Got this quarter of the pitch. Under 9s got this quarter. Under 10s. So there's about 5 age groups all on like one big Astro, and that was like our training ground. So obviously Chelsea had their first team place, but for all the academies, we was literally training at Battersea Park, some Astro place, and
I think they still have that now. You know,
probably do. I probably do.
Yeah, because I played at that Battersea place. I played football like a year ago there, and I saw like bare Chelsea youngsters and Chelsea.
Yeah.
I think it's the same place.
I think that place there, that might be for. I think now it might be for like the community.
Yeah. Okay.
Chelsea thing more so than, because when I was there, that was literally the academy place. But I think now, obviously, Chelsea got their own place in Cobham now. Obviously, it's unbelievable. But I think now it's more so for like when you're like community scheme for Chelsea, and you go there, maybe if you're good enough, when you get called up to the academy, I think that's what they're kind of doing now with most academies, to be fair. But yeah, I was signed from 7 years old. I still got pictures from my signing day in my living room. Like, it's great. Like I'm wearing like baggy tracksuit, no drip, nothing, just baggy tracksuit. But all the girls wearing Le Coq Sportive. Like, I don't know if you remember that brand. Yeah. I feel rocking it, baggy tracksuit. But yeah, like, I still got pictures.
Swag has changed so much in the last 15 years.
Changed so much.
Swag was mad 15 years ago.
I'm looking at it thinking, my mum really took me out the house, like, looking all baggy like that. And I'm there smiling, thinking I got drip. Oh, no.
That's the baddest thing. You back then, you still thought you had swag.
Smiling. The thing not even iron, just all baggy. And I'm just thinking, nah, Mumsy, you really done that to me. Oh, no.
Hey,
signed when I was 7, so.
Nah, say no more. So have you always been a striker then from your young age at Chelsea? Like, have you always had that stature where you're bigger than everyone else?
Yeah.
Were you up top or did that naturally?
Funny enough, when I first went Chelsea, under nines, so my second season there, they played me right back. I come in as a forward, but I played right back under nines. When obviously after that I went forward. So, but even when I was a right back, I was scoring so many goals. So they thought, why are you keeping him back there when he's literally scoring loads of goals from right back? So I was literally just getting it and just running through everyone and just scoring. So after that, I was a forward until under 13s when they put me centre back because I had a growth spurt. So they thought, because I'm kind of bigger than most people, let's put him at the back. But even when I was at the back, I was still chopping strikers because, when I was at Chelsea, now you realize it more when you're not there anymore. But my age group was unbelievable. It was probably up there, probably one of the best age groups in England. Because we won the under 13 Premier League tournament when it's obviously all the Prem teams, and we won that. We beat Arsenal in the semis, we beat Middlesbrough in the final like 7-1. So our age group was just crazy. Like, so most games we only look forward to 4 games. It was against West Ham. Maybe it might have been 3. It was 3. West Ham, Arsenal, Tottenham. Yeah. Could we face them every year? Other than that, we didn't care about no other team. Like, if you tell us we got MK Dons, we're just like, all right, cool. Like, we'll go out there, we'll probably win 5-6-0. But when we played Arsenal, we're like, yeah, it's about time that we actually got a challenge. So even we had that sort of arrogance and confidence in ourselves, thinking we know we're gonna win. But when we play West Ham, Tottenham, and Arsenal, that's when we're like, yeah, like we know we're in for a game. So, but that was good, man.
Nah, that's sick, man. Do you know you want to jump in?
So, you played in a few different positions at a young age, right?
Yeah.
I guess what I kind of want to know, because as a kid when you're playing with your friends or you're going for training, you're always thinking, I'm gonna play like this player today. I'm gonna play like this player today. What top player in a Prem or whatever? Who would you say you kind of based your game around? Because you played right back, you could have said I'm gonna play like Gabby Neville. I play centre back, I might play like John Terry. I played up top, I might play like Henry. So I mean, who would you base your game around at a young age?
I would say when I was a forward, I tried to base my game on Thierry Henry because I thought he was a joke, and so I'll say more so because of my older brother. So he used to watch clips of Thierry Henry before he played. So when you're a younger kid and you see your older brother, you're just gonna copy him regardless. So I used to see that, and I never used to watch football hard at that. We used to watch it here and there, but luckily, when you're in Chelsea Academy, you can be ball boy. So I used to go to games and we ball boy and watch games. So I watched Terry when he played against Chelsea live. So after that, I was thinking, this guy's a joke live, so he must be a joke on YouTube. So I used to watch him a lot, and but I'm a United fan, so even though watching Thierry Henry, that's an enemy, and he scored bangers against us, but talent's talent, and so I used to watch him a lot. I'll probably say Thierry Henry.
Yeah, you have to appreciate talent.
100%.
What team you initially go for, but yeah, man, that's good.
No, that's sick, man. So talk to me, like, obviously you're coming up through Chelsea, like you start right back, you then get put to centre back, eventually make that transition into a striker, and I'm guessing you start to bang in the goals.
Yeah.
You're good. Like, when did you start to think like, raw, I think I can make a career out of this. I think this is my thing.
To be fair, because I was at Chelsea from 7 till 14, so I never really knew about scholarship and all that too tough until my brother got a scholar. And then when he got a pro, then that's when you're thinking, okay, there's actually a career in this, because I was just there. Because I'm there from 7 years old. This became a norm for me. So other kids, they get summer holiday 6 weeks. I didn't get a summer holiday 6 weeks. I don't know what a summer holiday is, 6-week break. Because I get a 2-week break, and then I'm going Chelsea training like 2 days a week. So I was in that. So till now, I think the first time I had like a full summer of no footballs when I was like 19, 20, but that was only because I was injured. So but from 7 till 14, my lifestyle was go to school Monday, training Tuesday, school, training Thursday, school, weekend football. That's all I knew. So, but I never really took it in as after 14, when you're 15, 16, you get a scholar and pro. I just saw it as this is my life. I'm at Chelsea. I'm a Chelsea player. It wasn't until I left, well, not left, I got released. So it wasn't until I got released when I was about 16, when I was like, okay, there's actually a career in this. And when I'm watching my brother play, obviously he was at the time when I got released, he then went to West Ham. So he made his Prem debut, but I'm thinking, like, I didn't really take it in. He's making his Prem debut at 17. So I'm thinking, there's actually a chance that man could be a pro and all of that. So, but I'll say more so until after Chelsea, that's when I probably took it in. But when I was at Chelsea, it was literally just all fun. I was playing with a lot of top players. I played with a lot of good players at Chelsea, and most of them have done well, to be fair.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. You touched on there, obviously, at 14, like Chelsea released you. Obviously,
yeah,
we've seen like a lot of like sad stories, especially recently with the Man City, Jeremy Weston, who tragically took his own life after being released by Man City. So I guess it's just to get your insight on like what was it like to be released, and do you feel like Chelsea gave you enough support at that time?
Wait 1 second. Let me just put this thing.
No,
sorry.
Let's get cracking. Yeah, man. So just continuing on that one. Yeah. So what was it like, to be released, and do you feel like Chelsea gave you enough support?
Looking back, nah. So the way I got released, they did it by phone call. So usually, by phone call. So usually, how they used to do it, and when you got told you was like coming back next year, they'll send you a letter. So we never used to do face-to-face meetings. It'll literally be letter, report on what you should work on and all of that. But the way I got released by phone call. So I'm in the other room. So this is literally when, I don't know if you can remember, this is literally when, I don't know what FIFA it was, but this is when pro clubs first came to FIFA.
Yeah.
First time pro clubs. So I'm on pro club, I'm on the mic. I think I might have been playing with Ed. I can't even remember. I'm on pro clubs, and then my whole family was in another room. So when they call me in, they're like, "Oh, like Joel, come in. Like, we need to talk to you." So I'm like to the man, I'm like, you man, play a game. Like, I'll be back for the next game. Like, just play a game. Like, I'm coming back. And I go into the room, and my dad's like to me, Chelsea just called, and you've been released. Then, like I said earlier, because I've been there since 7 to 14, I don't understand what this means. Like, I'm like, what do you mean I've been released? Like, so what, I can't go there anymore. My dad's like, yeah, like, you've been released. So I'm sitting there, but like, it's hitting me, but I'm just in silence. I'm not crying or nothing, or I'm just sitting there thinking, I got released. Like, how? Like, I don't know. My dad's like, don't worry about it. Like it's football. Like, it's not going to define your career. Like, there's loads of other teams. Like, don't worry. Like, you'll be all right. You're good. Like, so I'm thinking, nah. Like, I've actually been released. Then earlier on, funny enough, before this, at training a couple of days earlier, well, cover us in the change room, and we're talking about who do we think is going to most likely be released. Because in that season, I felt like I had a good season.
Yeah.
But that year, that was like I said, I got moved to centre back from under 13, so I got released at under 14. So I was playing centre back under 14. But in all the big games, like I said, against Arsenal, West Ham, Tottenham, because we had a big squad. If you play in them games and you start, you're basically like the favourites in a way. And when the players who don't really start or might not even be in the squad, we have such a big squad, like 3-4 players won't even be in this whole thing. So you won't even be on the bench. So if you're not in the bench, you're thinking, I'm not in the favourites, or I'm not really being picked. So I played in all the big games. Played against Arsenal, West Ham, Tottenham, started nearly every game. I even played upper age. So I'm thinking, I'm doing well. And then to get released, like, it didn't make sense. So players are calling me the next day. So like, it's a right back, he's at Coventry right now, called Frankati Dabo. So me and him, we was close. Like, so he's calling me thinking, like, did you hear, like, a player like Charlie? Me and Charlie got released. He's like, did you hear Charlie got released? I'm like, yeah, I got released as well. He's like, what? He's like, nah. He's like, nah. That don't make sense. Like, you can't get released. Like, you can't. I'm like, bro, I've been released. So I told him, when I was close with obviously Chelsea player like Ruben Loftus-Cheek as well. So he called me. He's like, "Oh, Fankati told me you got released." I'm like, "Oh, I've been released." Like all the players are calling me saying, "This can't be true. Like this can't be true. Like it doesn't make sense. Like you've been playing sick. You played up at age, and you're still getting released." But a bit of me, and my brother kind of says it. I think it's because at that same time when I got released, my brother left Chelsea and went West Ham. So sometimes, if like my brother was kind of telling me that maybe because he left, because they offered him a pro, Chelsea offered him a pro, but they offered him a pro in terms of like, we'll offer you a pro, but you're not gonna play for the next 3-4 years. You're just gonna be sent on loan. That's what they told him.
Yeah.
And West Ham told him you're gonna play first team. So he's thinking, I want to play first team. So obviously he took the West Ham, left. 2 months later, I get released. So he's like, my brother's like, they kind of maybe had a bit of disappointment because he left them because he was there from a younger age and he went West Ham. And obviously Chelsea and West Ham, little rivalry. So he probably used me as a way to kind of like do something. Because really and truly, I shouldn't be released on that year. But obviously that's football. But the way I took it, I'll say the next 2 weeks in school, I was just quiet. Because I was a lively kid, so I'm all bubbly, talking to everyone. For the next 2 weeks, went to class, sat down, that's it. Don't talk to me. And everyone's thinking, wow, like what happened? Like, and I told them obviously I got released when, but I never once cried or anything like that. I feel like I was kind of lucky to have people around me in terms of also my brother's in the football game, so he was telling me, like, this happens a lot, like, don't worry about it. Like, you could go somewhere next week and it'll be done. So, but what happened to obviously the Man City player, that's very sad because a lot of players go through that. So people when I saw that, I could relate. Obviously, he got released a little bit older than me, so I could relate because Chelsea didn't want to check up on me or say how you're doing, or you could still come and train, or they just said, yeah, you're released, and that was it, game done. Like, so I feel like they definitely got to change it because a lot of kids can take it differently. I was lucky I had good people around me in terms of I never once looked at it and was sad or felt like my life is done. I just felt everyone was telling me you got to move on, like it happens.
Exactly.
And you're good. If you believe in your ability, you're going to end up there one day regardless. So just forget about Chelsea and move on. So.
No, 100%. Go on, Joel.
I think that's a good thing actually because looking back now, you being released wasn't too negative because you had a lot of your friends calling and saying, "Wait, what? You've been released?"
Yeah.
So that's kind of, you got to look at that, and I think you did look at it because look at where you are now. You're still kicking ball at a very good level, but you got to look back at it and think, wow, everyone actually was shocked that I got released, me, of all people and everything. So I think it's good. And what was the kind of turnaround for you after the 2 weeks? I know you said you had 2 weeks, you was quiet, you're normally a lively guy. What was it that, kicked you in for, I'm getting back into ball? What was the next club at?
I'll probably say it was my brother. So my brother came down for like the weekend. They didn't have a game. And he just took me out, went park, kicking ball, and he was like, you just can't stop kicking ball. Like another team will come. He was like, you just got released from Chelsea, and that's at that time, probably still now, one of, if not the best academy in England. So he was like, clubs are going to come calling. You're going to get another club. Just be ready for it. So then after that, I went to Fulham for how long was I there for? I was there for about 6 weeks, and I was on fire. Like I think I played like 5 games. I scored 7 goals in 5. But when I done my ankle when I was playing up for under 16s, done my ankle. But that ankle injury kept me out for 2.5 months. So it was literally at the worst time because they all like to me, like you're doing really well. We just want to see you a bit more, and then we'll make a decision. Like, they were going to offer me a scholar or not, even though I was only 14 at the time. They were planning to offer me a scholar, like basically skip at age. So I'm out for 2.5 months. By the time I come back, Fulham kind of already gave out scholars to the kids they kind of had since young. So they were kind of like, if you come in, it would be kind of hard for you because a lot of players in your position. So the time was kind of bad. Even that was another setback, but I still never took that to heart in terms of, I'm done with ball or I'm never kicking again. My brother was still telling me, bro, like, okay, that's unfortunate, but there's another team out there for you. Like, you're a good enough player. Never stop believing in yourself, because if you do, that's what they want you to do. So he kind of put my mindset on, I have to get there regardless. Every setback, he always tells me, there's someone in the world going through a lot worse than you, and you're in a position that's been blessed to kick ball. How can you be sad or mad when you're in a position and you've been given the talent to kick balls? Like, someone in life is going through a lot worse than you, might not even have a home. So from a young age, it made me feel grateful for any little thing. So going through that, obviously, ankle injury, I've seen a lot of players that even that I was with in the Chelsea Academy with, some of them don't even kick ball now. And I never look at people who stop kicking ball as a bad thing, because anyone in the football game knows football can literally mess up your head. It's a full game. So anyone that stops and say they don't have a love for it, I fully understand. But the way I felt like our brother and parents kind of made me built from young ages, you got to keep going. If this is what you want to do, my dad always told me, if this is what you want to do, you have to keep going until you can't physically go anymore. Like, you can't just pick and choose when you want to go all in, sit out, quit, and then go back and complain about things when you could have changed it yourself. So
yeah. No, that's sick, man. And I think it's great that you had your brother there to like really lean on and to provide those words of encouragement, and also that leadership in terms of his actions and how he was doing. And
100%.
Your brothers had a great career. I think I still remember when he played for West Ham. For some reason, I always remember he played for Arsenal and he gave Gallas one step over.
Oh, hey, that game. Oh no. See, I was at that game. I went to watch it. My whole family was in a box. We didn't even know what a box was.
Yeah.
They said, they got a player's box. I'm like thinking, what? They got food here. So man sitting down thinking, man just can go inside, got food, got chips. They even come in like everything all right. I'm thinking, what? This is the life? I said, nah. My mom thinking, what? You know African parents, we're praying over everything. So when there's food there, my mum and dad are just holding hands, we're praying over everything. When the other white people, the other families are looking, thinking, wow, like, what's going on here? But we're praying over everything. What? My mum's, I'm trying to touch it, my mum's slapping your hand, saying, what? Have you prayed? Pray over everything. But yeah, that Arsenal game, I think that's when I proper deeped, like, wow, my brother's actually a professional footballer. So I went into school and I was a legend for like the whole month. Everyone's like, oh, like, yeah, that's Frank Nouble's brother. Even like year 11s, I don't even chat to year 11s. Year 11s are coming down to me saying, wow, your brother's like, wow. Girls are giving me hugs. They never said a word to me. They're giving me hugs, saying, oh my gosh, your brother. I'm thinking, yeah, I was walking on gas. But yeah, that game, that's what I probably was like, wow, like, my brother's actually playing against Arsenal. Like, I went to watch it. Jack Wilshere, that game, he was a joke. Yeah, Ramsey, he was a joke. Like, Arsenal were different. They nicked it late. I think they won. I think it might have been 2-1. But yeah, Ramsey and Wilshere, they were different.
Oh, man, that's when Arsenal used to be good. But no need to talk about that waste right now. So listen, let's stick to this one. But listen, so yeah, man, Chelsea, then on to Fulham. Then you had the setback with the injury.
Yeah.
Where did you go after that? And by this point, were you now definitively a striker?
Yeah. So yeah, from that point, I was a striker. Even though, like I said, ended the last 2 years at Chelsea centre back, but I always had love scoring goals and attacking, so I was a striker. So after Fulham, I didn't kick ball for about 2.5 months. I was still like training here and there, but I wasn't at a team or anything like that. Then, like I said about Chelsea, a player called Charlie, who got released with me at the same time, he was at Cray Wanderers.
Oh yeah, Cray Wanderers.
So he was just like to me, oh, like, just come down, like, just to like play in the team, just kick ball, like, just have fun, basically. So I was like, why not? My dad said you might as well, because you're not at a team right now, just to stay fit in case anything comes. So I'll probably say that was probably the best thing for me at the time, because that's when I just literally had straight enjoyment. There wasn't no pressure in terms of, academy based. I'm thinking I'm on trial, I've got to impress more. When you go on trial, you've got to do more than what the player's already there. So if a player's basically an 8 out of 10, you've got to be a 12 for them to think, okay, like, we've got to sign him. You can't be an 8 or a 9 because they're thinking, we've already got 8. So you have to show me something different. So when I went Cray, probably had the best fun up to that point. I was literally just scoring goals for fun. I played every position there as well. I played right back, played centre back, played centre mid, left back, right mid, left mid, up front, 10. But like, it was just so fun when you're playing with people when they kind of knew I was the best player, so they kind of just gave me the ball and just said, like, just do your thing.
Do your thing.
I was thinking, wow, Give me that much freedom. You can't give me that much freedom. I feel like I'm playing in school games. Like, John, if you ask Ed in that in school games, they'll literally just give me the ball and say, go on, run. Like, just do your thing.
Yeah.
So I'll just be dribbling everywhere. But I'm doing this. And at Cray Wonders, we played against academies because our coaches, they had loads of links. So we played against Charlton, against Yeovil, played against Bradford. We like Yeovil and Bradford, we traveled there like for a whole day trip. But once we played against Yeovil, we beat them 5-1. I scored a hat-trick.
Yeah.
When their managers got mad saying that I can't be 15, they're saying he can't be 15. Like, he's too big, he's too fast, he's too skillful. How's he not at academy? He can't be 15. Like, when, like, my manager told me afterwards that they'll go mad saying that he's lying about his age. I'm thinking, why would I lie about my age? Like, man's only 15 years old. But it was after that game where I started getting some interest. So I heard Charlton watching me. Mill were watching. Who else was watching? And Brighton were watching because I was playing academies. Obviously, I'm just scoring goals, but I didn't feel no pressure. I was just having fun. That's why I said I thought that was the best thing at the time. So then after that, I had a friend who was at Dagenham Redbridge. And he was just like to me that just coming and training. So I was like, I might as well because I just love football. If someone shouts me now for today, let's go kick the ball in the box. Just go ball because any time there's a chance to kick ball, I'll go regardless. So I went to Dagenham. From the first week of training, Dagenham said we want to sign you, and I wasn't even planning to go to get signed. I was just planning. I just wanted to go training. Cause this wasn't even like a big time thing, but I didn't know about League 2 at the time because Dagenham were in League 2 at the time. Because I come from Chelsea, all knows Prem. I don't know League 1 and League 2. My brother's in the Prem as well, so I don't know about League 1, League 2. So I just thought Dagenham was just a club. I thought it might have been the same as Cray Wanderers, but they're league football. So they said they said play Saturday for the under-16s. We're playing against Brighton, and Brighton were looking at me. So they said let's play against Brighton. I said okay, cool. Play against Brighton. I scored 2. The under-18s manager's there, and he's like, I want you to play against Ipswich under-18s on Tuesday, but obviously it's during the day. Yeah, this when I'm 15. So he's like, I want you to play against Ipswich on Tuesday during the day. So obviously I get to him at school. So I'm like, yeah, let me go. Tell me the time I'll be Ipswich. I won't even drive. I can't even drive, but I'll drive. Like, if I can miss school, I'll do whatever I can to miss school. Like. So he told me, cool, play against Ipswich. Play against Ipswich under 18s. I score another 2. So then they're thinking, nah, we've got to sign this guy. So after that game, they got the papers all printed out already. So yeah, you got to sign here. So I don't even get to talk to my dad or anything. Like, I'm thinking, wow, like, what? They gave me the pen in my hand just to sign it. Like, I'm thinking,
that's mad.
That's
so
mad.
Like, they're on me. Like, they're saying this guy can't go. So after that, I signed. When I called my dad, I was like, oh yeah, I signed for Dagenham. He's like, what do you mean you signed for Dagenham? I was like, I've signed for the season. And he's like, obviously he was happy for me because obviously I was back at a team because I had a signed team since Chelsea. So he was like, oh, like what league do you? I said League 2. He's like, okay, so like how are you gonna get there and everything? And obviously luckily enough, Dagenham wasn't like mad far from me. It was literally about 45 minutes. So my dad, I had a teammate who dad used to take him to all the sessions, all the matches. They used to take me as well. So I was lucky to have him. So yeah, I signed at Dagenham, so under 16. In that whole season, I play under 18s. So I don't play my age the whole season. So when players are thinking, this is scholar year. So my mum was like to me, she was like, look, if you don't get a scholar, you're going college. And that's it. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, no pressure on my neck, but man's got to get a scholar. Okay, I don't really want to be going college like that. So, because I'm playing under 18s the whole season, I'm thinking I must be in a good position because I'm not playing my age. I've literally played under 18s the whole season. And I was even the second top scorer for the under 18s. And I'm 15, 16 at the time, just bagging goals for the under 18s. So I'm like, I have to be playing. I have to get a scholar. But what they done with me is they gave a couple people early scholars, but they gave me a scholar like at the same time as majority. So in my head, I started thinking, wait, am I going to get it? I'm seeing this guy. He comes in. He's here for 2 months to give him a scholar. Because obviously he came from West Ham. So looking back, it makes sense. He come from West Ham. They're thinking, yeah, we've got to tie him down. But at that time, I'm thinking, he just told me, he comes in back into the change room. He's like, yeah, I got offered a scholar. I'm like, oh, you just been there 2 months. Man's been bagging goals, playing under 18s, and I'm not getting a scholar. So I'm thinking, I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to get it. My mum's like, look, if you don't get a scholar, you'll go in college. So I'm like, oh, man's got to get a scholar. I need it. I need this. But luckily, obviously, I was lucky enough. I got a scholar. When in the meeting, they thought they were cheeky. They were like, oh, were you ever worried about getting a scholar? I was like, yeah, I was. Don't play with me like that. They were like, no, we knew from the start. Like, you was in with the 18s the whole season. We believe that. I was thinking, don't do that with me, bro. I feel like when I got a scholar, the way I was in school, my energy was different though. You know, before man's revising hard because I'm like, these grades are important for me in college.
Yeah.
When I got the scholar, I was like, man's not even going to college anymore. Like man's in class. I'm sitting there thinking, you want to go in college? Ah, man's not even going to college, you know. Like, man's not even need to do that. Man's not even going there. But we got chemistry tomorrow, the test. What, you not stressing? I'm not even going to college, you know. my mindset just shifted.
Hey, education was done for you, bro.
Oh, it was done for me. Now, hey, anyone watching, education is important. I still left with 13 GCSEs though, so don't think man was dumb or anything. I still done my thing, but from an A, it went from an A to a C, so it could have been an A, but my energy was different. We had a chemistry test, and my brother took me to a Tiger concert the night before.
Jeez.
Man went to a Tiger concert the night before. When I went to the chemistry exam, you know when everyone got the chemistry book and they're trying to get the last second reader? Man ain't got my book, like, mine just went in on a finger. Let's just see what happens today, like. Let's see what happens. After the test, everyone's like, oh, what did you answer for question 3? Man put this. I'm thinking, man didn't put that, you know? Like, I'm thinking, nah, my results are going to be different. So, but yeah, so I got the score at Dagenham and I was happy, man. I was proper happy.
Yeah, that's 6. And that was at 16, yeah?
Yeah, 16, yeah.
Yeah, so then I believe after that, you actually worked your way up where you actually got your first pro contract at Dagenham. Yeah. So a little bit about that.
So first year scholar, for the Dagenham's track record is they only give out 1 pro a year. That's what when I got there, that's what they'd done for like the last 10 years. So first year, everyone, like, even though you're with them every day, I always say anyone that's probably in football had scholarship. Them 2 years of scholar are most likely going to be the best 2 years, most enjoyable 2 years, like, of your footballing life. Because at that point there's pressure, but it's not really that much pressure. You're told you can go kick ball every day. You're getting paid. Obviously, you're not getting paid crazy loads of money at that time, but you're getting paid. You ain't got to do homework. Even though we still had college 1 day a week, but like it's like minimal. And then you're like them 2 years, like I'm with them every day, kicking ball, doing what you love. So first year in pre-season, the manager wasn't really rating me. But at that time, I didn't really take in what he was saying because he was hard on me. So every little thing I'd done is exaggerated more. So let's just say Jalil done like a 5-yard pass. Oh, Jalil, that's outstanding. If I do a 5-yard pass, Noobs has got to be better. I'm thinking, why are you telling me he's got to be better? Man done the same thing. If Jalil lost the ball, oh, Jalil unlucky, get back in. Loses the ball. Noobs! I'm thinking, why is man on me so hard? Like why is it different? At that time, I didn't take it in, but later on, when you get older, like when I spoke to him after I left, he was like to me, because he saw so much talent in me, he felt like the tough love was what I needed. Because he just felt like if he tells me, oh, you're doing well, I'll get complacent. Because I knew he was on me, my mindset was, I can't do a mistake. If he do a mistake, he's going to be shouting. So I feel like that's helped me. So in pre-season, he didn't start me the first 3-4 pre-season games. He was trying to like show that I've got to like earn my right to play in this team. Because obviously in scholar, the first year and the second year scholar, so the 2 teams are combined. So you're not playing with your own age, you're playing with the 1 year older as well. So I was trying to show, to get into the team, you've got to like be good enough. So I didn't play like the first 3 league games, but we lost the first 3. So then he obviously threw me in the 4th one, and I scored a hat-trick my first game. So then after that, obviously I was in the team the rest of that year. That year, funny enough, Tottenham player now, Dele Alli, yeah. So he was at MK Dons. So we played against MK Dons. And this was after he already made his first team debut. So we played Dele Alli. But they come to Dagenham, so we beat them 3-0, and all of us in the change was like, what? This guy's meant to be first team. We're thinking, nah. But in the game, even though we beat them 3-0, he still played sick. But we're like, bro, we just beat MK Dons 3-0. Like, Dele Alli, whoop-de-doo. Like, okay. we're like, okay, he played first team. We beat you 3-0. Cool. But we played him the second time. And when Dele Alli really showed us, yeah, I'm Dele Alli now. Like, don't respect me. So they had Dele Alli, and I think he's the other player. I think he's at Luton now. If you don't know, Brendan Galloway.
I think I've heard of him.
He went Everton, and then obviously he didn't really play that. He was a left back / centre back, but he was at MK Dons as well, and he played first team for MK like at 16 as well. So he played against both of them, and in that game, them two they beat us 3-0, but it was such a 3-0 then. It was a complete control 3-0.
Yeah.
Like, and MK Dons, they were on passing the ball. But like I said earlier, when I was at Chelsea and we played MK Dons, we used to slap them 6-0, 5-0. Even now, I'm getting slapped 3-0. I'm like, yeah, life is different now. Like, it's different on these sides. But yeah, so first year, we came second in the league, and that was the highest Dagenham ever finished, like in the youth alliance thing. Usually we're always bottom. Like, but we came second. We had a good team. At the end of the year, I think I had like 15 goals in the league. I think the only player that scored more than me was a guy who was at Leighton Orient. He's, you know the Southampton striker, Michael Obafemi, like the young one.
Yeah.
His older brother. He had the older brother. He was at Leighton Orient, and he was the only one that scored more. But he got like 29 that year. He was crazy.
Okay, right.
He was crazy as a youngster. Unbelievable talent. So yeah, first year that happened, and then like I said, they only gave up one scholar. So I mean one pro. So the one pro they gave for the second year, the guy called Jack Connors. He's at Barnet right now. Yeah, he's at Barnet. But they only give up one pro. So when he goes to second year, I'm thinking they only give up one pro. Like, this is going to be like, you look at your boys different now. You're like, you look at my boys, but we're going against each other now. Like, it's a competition because only one of us is getting the pro. But I felt like I was in a good position because in pre-season second year, I'm training first team. So I'm 17 at the time. So I'm training first team. So they usually call boys over, and they're calling me over every day. So it even got to a point, like I'm in my youth team change room, but for training, I'm just with first team the whole pre-season. So when they sent me out on loan to, where did I go first? I went Thurrock, and they were in Ryman North at the time. So that's about, I think that might be like step 8.
Yeah.
Compared to, oh wait, sorry, 1 second.
No worries. I back up and running. So yeah, man. So we've spoken about like you got your first pro contract, Dagenham Redbridge. So it's like now you're officially a pro. Right? You could say that you are now a professional footballer. So correct me if I'm wrong. How quickly or how soon was it, like, because you mentioned you had a couple of loan periods as well. How soon was it after you signed for Dagenham Redbridge that you had, I believe, I saw it, my brother obviously told me about it, that you had a very bad injury.
So it happened, so when I got my pro, I'm training first team. So I'm a pro now, so I'm training, doing well in pre-season. I felt like I'm showing my ability, showing that I can handle it at this standard. But that manager, he kind of felt pressure because I think that was his first team job. So I'm 18 at the time, and how many managers are really going to throw in an 18-year-old when you kind of want to be sure you get results? So you're probably going to think, I ain't got experience. So he sent me out on loan straight away in pre-season. So I went on loan to Welling, and they were in the conference prem at the level I'm playing now. So I'm 18 playing conference prem. I play about 7-8 games, and I don't start the first 2. I start like 3 in a row. When I get my first red card at Welling, I get 2 yellow cards. And even on YouTube, embarrassing. So I do 2 challenges the whole game, 2 yellow cards, red card, and both of them are just like the first one. He said I got a yellow card because my whole team have done fouls. So there's an accumulation of fouls. So he said the next one is a booking, even if it's not a yellow card. That's what he said to me. So I didn't think it was a yellow, but I got a yellow. Cool. The second one, awful. The second one, they play the ball, and I intercept it, but he thinks the player got there first because obviously he fell over for me nicking it past him. So I got a second yellow, got a red card. I'm 18, red card. We're away. I don't know who we're away to. I think it might be in Grimsby. So all the fans saying cheerio, 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 and I've got to walk across the whole pitch. The man's on the other wing. The man's all across the whole pitch. We're winning 1-0, and they score last-minute equaliser. So I'm in the change room. My head's just down. I'm thinking, okay, wait, let's get the win. I mean, you know when you hear the crowd go mad, last-minute equaliser, 1-0. But to be fair, the manager, he didn't get on to me after the game. Like, he said, look, everyone knows it's not a red card, so no one get on him, because obviously I'm 18 at the time. So he's like, no one get on him. He knows poor refereeing, but we had enough players on the pitch to prevent that goal from happening, whether we had 11 or 10. So don't put the goal on him. You lot should have done enough to see out the game. So obviously he could have went another way and gone ballistic, and that might have affected me. But he backed me. All the other players backed me. They all said, look, we know it's not a red card. But I think that red card, I don't know if it hindered, but because I missed the next game. When I played another 2, but I came off the bench the next 2. So then the Dagenham manager, he called me back in. But I'm playing well even when I'm coming off the bench. But he calls me in to send me on loan to say Albans. But I think that's like his friend was a manager there. So he called me in, but I'm thinking, I'm in Conference Prem. Welling was so sweet. 20 minutes from my house. Training starts at 10. Training done by 11:30. I'm home by 12.
Yeah, that's mad.
What? And you're telling the 18-year-old, that's what I'm doing every day. And I'm banging COD, NBA, FIFA, pro clubs. I'm telling Ed, you man, get back from college. Hurry up, man. Like, what are you man doing? You got work. Get back home, bro. Like, hurry up. Who's on clubs? I'm there ready. Like, I'm even playing NBA by myself. Man got friends in Italy. I don't even need my friends here. Like, man got friends abroad. So cool. That's what I'm doing every day. I was loving it at Welling. Loving it. And because I didn't have to go to Dagenham. Because I was at Dagenham, like, I was a youngster, but at Welling, like, I was like an actual first-team player. Even though I was 18, like, he saw me as like, yeah, you're a starter here. You're going to play. So I loved it. The boys there was some other young boys. So I wasn't the only young one. So I loved it there. But they called me back in to go see Albans. Just because his manager's a boy there and they needed a striker. So I'm thinking, I thought I was getting called in for the first team, but you're sending me out. So I was like, that's kind of cool. I go there, I play about 6-7 games, I scored 3, I think I scored 4 goals in 7. So I'm like, even though I got sent there, I'm doing well again. When he called me back in again, so I'm like, okay, I must be with the first team now. But he calls me in just in case of injuries, but I wasn't on the bench. I was just there in case.
Right.
So I'm like, you're stopping me from playing football, and you take me on loan to help your boy when I'm at Welling, I'm enjoying it. So I'm like, you're just basically using me right now.
Yeah.
So then after that, and say Auburn, they're all Conference South. So I've gone from Conference Prem on loan, Conference South on loan. And then when I come back, it's January, then I'm like, can I play games? Like, I need to play games. He's like, okay, you can go back to Grays. I was on Grays on loan when I was a youth team player. And that's basically what helped me get a pro. When I was on loan there, I think I got 17 in like 24 games. And I was 17 years old at the time. And that was Ryman Prem. So obviously, a 17-year-old getting 17 goals, like, you're going to get a pro. So that basically helped me get a pro. So I go back on loan there. And this is when I got injured now. So, and then Ryman Prem. So I've gone Conference Prem, Conference South, Ryman Prem, loans in the same year. So I've gone down on loans.
Yeah.
So cool. I'm at Grays. But they had loads of games called off. So their season was match Saturday, match Tuesday, match Saturday. That's what it was, Saturday, Tuesday. And obviously I'm playing 90 minutes every game. Yeah. So we get to a cup game, we're in the semi-final. And in the warm-up, I can feel my knees a bit different. But because it's a semi-final of a cup, and up to that stage, I've never played in the final of like a big cup or anything. So I'm like, I want to play in the final, like, and to help me get to the final. So man just straps up around my knee. I'm playing the game. I'm playing it. Play the game. I scored 2. We win 2-1. We get to the final. And the rule is at Dagenham, well, most pro teams is if you're injured, even if you got a day off the next day, you got to let the physio know and you have to come in regardless. Yeah. Doesn't matter unless they tell you stay at home, but you got to come in your day off. Because I didn't want to go on my day off, I didn't tell them my knee was feeling weird. I said, let me go into training on the Friday, and then I'll act like, I got hurt in training. That's what I was thinking of doing. Because Fridays are usually walkthrough, so we don't train hard on Friday because that's the day before game. You might do a little small-sided game, but literally just set pieces, how the other team plays, walk through a little bit, you're home. Like you're probably on the pitch for an hour, latest. So everything's going cool. We're doing set pieces. I'm walking through, my knee's hurting a bit, but I'm like, after training, I'm going to be like, oh, physio, like my knee just hurt a bit in training. I don't know what it is. So I won't get fined, I won't get in trouble. That was my plan. But the man just said, okay, first team, man, for tomorrow, you lot are done. Everyone else, we're going to play, you're doing a bit of extra, you're playing a small-sided game. So I'm like, oh, so man's got to play a game now. My knee's a bit cool. Yeah. So in the game, I'm moving gingerly. I'm not really running around. But the ball's up in the air. So, because I'm a tall guy, so I had to go up for the header. But when I went up for the header, when I landed, my knee just felt weird. Like I told the manager, like, no, I have to go in. Like, my knee's hurting. I go in. They tell me, the physio tells me, oh, I think you jarred your knee. So I thought, obviously, jarred your knee. That's only like 6 weeks, so it's cool. But that's what you thought initially. And then we had when he said you're gonna get a scan 2 days later. So I didn't play the Saturday with Grays. I told him about my knee. I said, oh, I think it just jarred. I'll be back a couple of weeks, like 6 weeks latest. Like they're like, okay, cool, no problem. I get the scan the Monday, and the guy tells me, oh, is your cartilage. So that's the same injury that basically stopped Lely King, that he had to retire early. So Lely King, he never had. Yeah, so Lely King, he retired because of his cartilage. So your two knees, like your knees are like that. There's two bones, and in the middle there's tissue. If there's no tissue there, like you can't jump around. Your bones are just gonna be grinding, so you have bare knee pain. So everyone's got basically tissue in between the knee, but Lely King had no tissue. So that's why he never really trained. He was in the water a lot. That's how he trained, just on pool, never trained, played matches, but he had to retire early. So telling him my cartilage, I'm like, what does that even mean? Because I don't understand cartilage. Up to that point, the longest ever injury I had, I was out for a month. So I'm never injured. I play every game, train every day. But when they say cartilage, that you might have to have surgery, I said, what? I think, you never think you're going to have surgery. Like, you never take it in. I'm thinking, I'm going to have surgery. They said, yeah, there's a chance. I go see a knee specialist who's like close to Dagenham, and he's like, because around my knee was was very strong, like everything around it was very strong. He's like, let's let it recover for 4 to 6 weeks and see how it is after. So I could have had the surgery 2 days after I got my scan results, but he told me wait 6 weeks. So I was like, cool. I waited 6 weeks. I'm back. I'm just about to go training. So I'm running, kicking the ball. My knee's feeling fine. I go see the knee specialist again, and he's like, it's feeling fine, but your knee's bruised up, like inside. So he's like, if you keep training and playing on it, and you don't get surgery, you could have to retire by 21 and never kick the ball again. So I'm like, so he's like, if you don't have surgery, you're gonna have to retire by 21 and you're done. Like you're gonna mess up your knees, and you're gonna have a jarred knee, messed up knee for like the rest of your life and not kick ball. So I was like, obviously I've got to have the surgery. So he told me you got to have surgery, but this is just before the end of the season. So I'm at the Dagenham game, and I'm no word of a lie. I can't tell you what happened in the game. You know when you see those films or movies where someone's like sitting down or standing still, but life goes past, like fast around them. Everything is going fast. I'm at the game sitting down watching the game thinking, man, that's a surgery. So when I asked him, I said, how long am I out for? He told me like probably like 8 to 9 months you're out. So I'm sitting there thinking, man's out for 8 to 9 months. When I called my mum and told her that's her surgery, my mum started crying like she was just bawling. Like I wasn't crying nothing. I was just thinking, man's actually out for 8 to 9 months. And then when I told my brother, because my brother had the game, so I had to wait till after the game to tell him. He was just like, obviously I could tell he's hurt, because usually my brother's always like the strong one. But when I told him that hurt him. So when it hurt him, that's when it kind of hurt me more. Yeah. My mom crying, I understand my mom crying, because if I graze my knee, my mom's probably gonna be crying. Like that's so I understand my mom crying. But when my brother was speechless, he was like, "What, you're out for 8 to 9 months?" And he's never had a long injury, and I knock on wood, he doesn't. He's not had one till now as well. So when he said, "Wow, like 8 to 9 months," I was like, "Wait, this might be bad, you know?" So I didn't really deep it. When after that, I have the surgery. Still at that point, I'm still not even. He's not hitting me like that I'm out for long. Like my mindset still is, okay, I'm out for this long. When am I back? What am I gonna do when I'm back? Because I know I'm still gonna be good. I'm probably gonna be better. Like, that's my mindset is thinking I'm gonna be better regardless.
Yeah.
Like that, what happened to me when I was 13, 14, them setbacks had molded me into a thing of I know I'm gonna be back regardless. Yeah, I'm gonna make it through. Like I always say every L, I don't take it as a loss, I take it as a lesson. So that was a big lesson for me. Till now, I'll say that injury, even though it's the worst thing that's happened in my football career, is the best thing at the same time.
Yeah.
Because when I was out, I got released from Dagenham. They said what they told me was nonsense as well. I have a meeting. They were scared to call me. So I'm calling them saying, I know we're having meetings about new contracts. Like, I want to know what's happening. They're like, oh, no, we want to give you a bit of time to recover from injury. I was like, no, like, I'll come in. I'm on crutches. I'll come in and to know what's happening. So in the meeting, the manager tells me, oh, we want to free up your wages because we need to rebuild and bring in another forward for next season. I was on £100 a week as a pro at Dagenham, yeah. What wages are you talking about? So I'm thinking, my boys at Tesco making more than me. But you wouldn't think because I'm a pro. You think because I'm a pro that I'm on big dough.
Yeah.
Like, man, I'm at Tesco, my boys are making more than me. Like, I'm telling you, bro, you man are making more than me. You don't think because I'm a pro, like, man can just start buying everyone Hakkasan, like, man, he got bread like that. So when he said that was like my first experience of football politics. There's so much politics in football that people don't even understand. There's just too much. So that was probably my first experience. So I told my brother, I was like, look, they wanted to get rid of you, but I had to think of an excuse. Like, and that was a poor excuse. Obviously, next season after that I got released, they got relegated. But anyway, that's what happened. They got relegated. Cool. But yeah, so that injury, but like I said, when I said the best thing, because my mindset before was I went into games nervous. So, like, you know when people always say, get your first touch to set the tone for the game.
Yeah.
So it was a thing of, I'll do my first touch, and if it's not good or I get tackled, man, them are not really showing for the ball as much as they did before. Because you put that pressure on yourself, you're like, no, like I've got to do well, like I can't do wrong first bad touch. So that's what I used to do. So when I was on loan at Welling, I'd done that. Confident playing the first couple games, I wasn't playing that to my ability. Like, first bad touch, I'm not really showing for it. I might come into the pocket, but I'm not really coming and demanding. Like, I'll be half-hearted. So, but when I was injured, because I missed, so basically from 19 to 21, I didn't kick ball because of this injury. So I missed the whole season. And then after that, I said, let me just take my time to get my body right and come back. So I came back when I was 21. But that whole missing a season thing was, this is how life would be if football's gone.
Yeah.
So I was like, when I get back fit, I can't go into games nervous. What am I nervous about? I've been doing this since 6 years old. This is not like a new job. You don't know nobody. I've been kicking balls since, like, basically my whole life. So why am I nervous on a pitch? So the way I play now is, if I do one bad touch, the first one, give me the ball again. Like, one bad touch, move on. Like, so that's what I always say, that injury changed my whole mindset on football. I said, I can't go into games nervous because when it's gone, it's gone. I'm still at a young age, so I've got to make the most of it, enjoy it every time. I started going to games. If you had me on Snapchat, when I was back fit, I'm going to games snapping saying, this is match day. Like, man's buzzing to kick ball. When you're out for a whole season, I missed a whole season. How can I be 19 to 21 and not kick ball? When I tell people that, people don't believe it. I'm like, I didn't kick ball for 2 years because of this knee injury that till now, I don't even know. It wasn't from a tackle. I don't even know if I ran funny or something. I probably landed funny. I still don't even know, but I missed ball for 2 years. So when I came back, I went to the loan team that I was at before Grays. I went Grays on loan. Now, I called the manager. I was like, I need to play a game. Like, can I just go back? Because my mindset wasn't a thing of, let me go back to Conference Prem or Conference South for like the title. I'm like, I've just got to go back to kicking ball. I don't care what level I'm at. I know I shouldn't be at this level, but you haven't heard my name for 2 years, so my name's not ringing. My CV doesn't hold weight. I haven't kicked me for 2 years, so no one's really going to take a chance on me. So I've got to earn my stripes again. So I went back to Grays. Then I was there for pre-season. I'm in pre-season. Then I'm not starting no pre-season games, but I'm top scorer in pre-season. But I'm not starting. I just come on, score. I don't start again. Come on, score. So I'm thinking, why am I not starting? Like, I know I ain't kicked ball for 2 years, but don't disrespect my level. Like, man should not be at this level. Man knows I'm better at this level. So in a way, it was kind of big-headed, but I was like, I'm doing you, man, a favor by just coming down here. Don't disrespect me. So we got one preseason game, and I'm on the bench. They don't bring me on. They bring on 2 17-year-olds before me. And then they bring me on. I said, nah. I told the man, I said, you, man, I'm not staying here. See you later. So I called the Thurrock manager, and they're 1 league higher. I called him on a thing of, like, I just want to have a chance. I'm not saying you have to start me, but can I come in and play? Like, I just want to kick ball. He brought me in, and I'll say, this manager, this is the only manager till now. If he called me, if you want to link up and go Nando's, we can go Nando's. All the other managers, we're not cool like that. Because everything he said, he done it. Like, he didn't lie to me. He looked me face to face on a reel and told me this is what's gonna happen, and done it. Because most managers, they just lie to you. So this one, he called Mark Stimpson. He's at Hornchurch, so like the environment prem, but he played ball. He played at Newcastle.
Oh right.
And in the prem, I think it was at Gillingham. I can't remember where else he played, but he played. I know he played at Newcastle and in the prem. So like, he had his football pedigree, like, he's good. Like, he had a good career. Manager, he got Gillingham. I think he got them promoted to League One. So he's respected. Like, so and he told me, and this was the first man that kind of gave me the freedom. He was like to me, "Where do you want to play?" So we had a game against Colchester on the 23s. So he's like to me, "Where do you want to play?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You can pick where you want to play on the pitch." I'm like, "I want to play 10." But because I'm 6'5", you're never gonna put a 6'5" guy at 10. Like, you're not gonna do that. But my background in football is, because I was at Chelsea, I'm not a typical 6'5" guy. I'm not just a guy who just kick it up and just do flick-ons. Like, I got Jalil. I don't know if you see me play, but I have. Okay, cool. So man can wiggle with it, like, man can move with the ball, like, with the ball to feet. So, but because I'm 6'5", the thing I love the most till this day, people will think he ain't got feet, and I love that. I'm like, cool. Let me run at you then. Don't let me run at you because you think man just gonna do flick-ons. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I love it. So I told him I want to play 10. He's like, okay, cool. Play 10 today. I'm like, what? He's like, go out there and play 10. So I played 10 against Colchester under 23s. I scored 2. And I'm just having a field day. Like, I'm getting to pockets, turn, Meg's a guy, running. I'm dropping deep, getting it. I'm like, wow, like, I can really enjoy it here. So when he made a whole formation, just more so for me to get the ball. So we played 4-3-3, and I was on left wing. So I never played left wing. I was always just a striker. But he put me left wing so I can get the ball to feet and, like, run at people. But the striker, we had 2 strikers. So we didn't have a right winger. The right winger was basically a second striker. So he was just in. We had loads of strikers. We had 2 there, and I was a left winger. So our game plan was obviously play, but get the ball to Noob as quick as you can and leave him alone. That's what he said before games. So I'm thinking, wow, he's putting this much faith in me. I've been out for 2 years. This team, they just got promoted, so they're a good team. Like, they literally just got promoted through playoffs. So I can't just come in and be like the main man. But he basically put the whole onus on me, saying, just give him the ball and just believe in him. And I was like, wow. Like, and after games, he never shouted at me in terms of if I didn't have a great game. He'll talk me through what I can improve on, what I've done wrong, ask for my opinion, and we'll have conversations about my game. And he used to do extras with me. He used to drop me to the station, pick me up from the station. Like, man treated me like I was one of his own. Like, so that's why I always say, like, if he shouts me anytime, man will always pick up the phone, whatever he wants, because he made me really appreciate football again. Because I've just been out 2 years, and he made me enjoy it. Because that year, stats-wise, I didn't have a great season stats-wise. I think I only got like 5 goals. I got 5 goals, but I still got 12 assists. But goals-wise, I didn't score loads of goals.
Yeah.
But he made me enjoy football, and the whole environment was unbelievable. The fans, unbelievable fans. They made a song saying he's better than Frank. He's better than Frank.
Oh, they your brother.
He's better than Frank. And when I first heard that, and also we're not getting 1,000 fans. We got maybe 70 fans.
Yeah.
But damn, man, are shouting, like, away games. They're shouting it. Like, I'm not scoring. So it's not a thing like I'm scoring every week. But you're shouting it. Like, they're shouting it when I get the ball. He's better than Fred. Oh, I loved him. I
Hey.
loved him so much. So when after games in the bar, like we'll be chatting. So that whole season there, I said like I needed that year. Even though it wasn't my best year numbers wise, I needed that season badly.
Yeah.
So but after that, I go to Haringey, and this is when I'll probably, you know, when from an injury, you kind of need time to get back to your best. So that Thurrock year was kind of like me getting back. And Haringey, they're in the same league as Thurrock, but Thurrock folded. So they're not even a team anymore because the chairman, he put the club up for sale because he was battling cancer at the time.
All right.
But no one came in and bought it. So you have until a certain date. If no one buys it, then you have to fold. So we folded. So I would have stayed there to be for another season, but folded. So I go to Haringey. Cool. But this year, this is when obviously now numbers and the way I'm playing, my whole thing is just different. My mindset is, if I want to get to where I want to get to, I've got to be the best player on the pitch.
Yeah.
So that year I ended, I got 19 goals and 12 assists that year. We played Wimbledon in the FA Cup first round on BBC, and that whole experience was crazy. Every game up to that point, we had to come back. So we was behind in every game before. So 1-0 down, come back and win. 1-0 down, come back and win. 1-0 down, come back and win. And then in the last game before Wimbledon, I scored the winner in the change room. Crazy in the change room. I don't even drink beer like that. Man's just down in beer. Like, man don't even drink it. I'm just seeing beer going everywhere. Like, but that whole year was crazy because that's literally like playing with your boys. Like that whole change room. Like, it was in Haringey in Tottenham here where we trained. Training would be at 8, finished at 9:30, 10. We'll be in the change room until 11, 11:30, just chatting. I'm in Tottenham. I'm not even in South. But man will drive back to South, wake up early, go work the next day. But I didn't even mind because the whole environment that year, the squads, that team, unbelievable, man. So that Wimbledon game, up to that point, that was like the best game. That whole experience, the cameras, the lights. I was like, this is what top like pros have to deal with. Like often, I'm like, I love that pressure, man.
Bro, it's funny you touch on that game, the Wimbledon one, because obviously I wanted to ask about that one because I remember Ed told me on that like, the game's on tonight, so I said definitely gotta make sure to tune in. So I went watching the game, and I actually thought you guys were unlucky to lose 1-0. I thought you guys actually deserved probably at least to get a replay. And then I think Wimbledon got a deflected ball or something.
Last minute
as well, and that was painful. I just remember watching the game. Like you guys had hundreds, it felt like hundreds, almost like thousands of people around. Obviously, the whole energy. And you know what the funny thing is? You said that thing about you deep in it, like this is what it's like for a pro. For me, obviously, because obviously I know you through my brother. It's like when you see someone on the TV that you know. And you're like, this is mad. But then it's when Martin Keown is on BBC and he's like, and you got the ball one time, he's like, oh yeah. And that's Joel Nouble. That's Frank Nuble's brother. Yeah, he's a talented boy coming up in the game. And that's when you start deepening, like, raw. Okay.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's crazy. And to be fair, I think obviously you had a very good game that game, playing off the left. But actually, I was going to ask you to two things. So, like, what was the build-up like to that game, knowing you're going to be on BBC, like, you're going to be obviously everyone's going to watch you, not only in the crowd, but obviously your friends for the TV. You're going to get loads of messages, everything like that. But also, like, I was going to ask you, and this is more of a personal one. I've obviously played with you maybe once or twice, like casual things. And obviously, like I said, people underestimate just how technical you are of a player. Like, people wouldn't think it, but like, you've got all the little intricacies, like the little inside passes. You know how to do the whole thing. So it's one of the things that, like, you don't have to answer it, but I've always kind of asked it to Ed, like, why don't you play center mid, bro?
You know what? So, okay, first thing, I'll touch base on experience. So, experience up to that just before was crazy. So, after we obviously beat Potters Bar in the last game, and then when we did the draw and we got Wimbledon, all of us are like watching the draws. So all in the group chat saying like, who we gonna get? And because there was a chance I could have got my brother. He was at Colchester.
Oh snap!
So sorry, he was at Newport. So I was like, I slightly want to get Newport because I want to play my brother. If I get to play my brother, that stadium they need to they need to have space for too many people because that will go crazy, man. The whole ends are coming. Like the whole ends will come to that game. Like. So I slightly wanted my brother because that would be like a dream, like just playing against your brother. So cool, we get Wimbledon, and then when they said we were going to be the first game, like out of all like the FA Cup games, so I was like, actually going to be on TV. When BBC used to come, they came to our ground and done like little videos and interviews about players. And all of that and put it in the newspaper. So then I'm thinking, wow, like this is actually crazy. And we even got I don't know if it's still on there, but we had a little mini documentary on BBC iPlayer.
Yeah.
About like for like I don't know how many episodes. I think maybe like 6 episodes. But like so we used to get recorded on training sessions, all of that. So I was thinking, yeah, this is different. But when it was a match day, because even before the match, I went Ivory Coast. So you don't even know this. I went Ivory Coast. My sister got married for I think for like 6 days, and I came back 2 days before the game. So I didn't. So obviously, my manager's like, yeah, when you go there, make sure you train, make sure you jog around. I'm looking at him like, bro, I'm not doing no running in Ivory Coast. The way my aunties were feeding me there, bro, they were feeding me on the. I woke up, I got food in my mouth. I don't even know where the food came from. Like I'm getting fed like it's nothing. You know what? They're treating me like I'm the king. Like that, I've just eaten bare. So man comes back, trains, and we play. When on the match day, when I'm driving in from far, yeah, I can see lights. Because they got the big lights king on the pitch. I'm thinking, I'm in the car with my boys. We're thinking, whoa, this is different. Driving, the fans are bit outside already. Like before, when we drive into the gate, like there's new security people. I'm like, who are these people? Like. I'm thinking this whole thing is different. Going up for the warm-up, it was already packed in the warm-up. And I'm seeing Dean Dublin. Who else was there? It was a female. I can't remember the female. But they're just there like doing their pre-game talk. I'm jogging up and down thinking. Like, my mindset was, I want to play at the level that women are playing League One. I'm like, I know I can get to that level. So this should be a thing where I'm playing these sort of players every week.
Yeah.
But I feel like as a team, we kind of went into the game. We didn't play as confident as I believe we could have. Because I feel like the pressure kind of got to some players, and that's understandable. You're playing League One team. But my mindset was, I should be at that level. Like, I know I'm good enough to get this. So I've got to prove it. There's one thing believing it, but if you don't prove it, it doesn't matter what you believe. Like, you've got to put in the work and show that you deserve to be there. So, like you said, I feel like I had a good game myself. I watched the game back straight away after the game. I got home and watched it. I asked someone to record it, watched it.
Yeah.
And then I watched the game back, felt like I played well. And after that game, people don't even know, before that game, in the league table, we were 17th in the league.
Yeah.
So he was having a poor league start. In the cup, he was on form.
Yeah.
Played Wimbledon, that whole experience was unbelievable. The cameras, the lights, everything. Oh, like, when I'm watching it back, I'm hearing my name on TV. I'm like, this is not even real. I'm on Snapchat. You know when there's certain people I ain't spoke to in like 3-4 years. They're snapping me saying, bro, like, oh, look at my guy. I'm thinking, bro, my name's spoken to you for years, you know. You didn't even check over if I'm all right. But when I was on TV, like, the love was crazy. Like, my Insta went crazy. I put up a picture after the game saying, that tough loss. I think at that point, that was like my most likes, like my everything, like the whole experience was unbelievable. And then your second question about centre mid. The thing is, I feel like I can play centre mid.
Yeah.
But there's a thing like, because I kept Harringay, I was playing wing, and obviously I had a great year. And when I went Concord after Harringay, I had another great year. So it's like, I've always, like, at the moment, I'm still a winger, but the way I play, I wouldn't even say I'm a winger, but I'm just good at taking on players. So that's where they put me.
Yeah.
I'd rather be more central. If I could pick, that's when I told the old man, I'd rather play 10 because I can get into pockets, turn around, play passes, do twos and all that. That's why I want to play. But most managers don't really play with 10s nowadays. And they wouldn't put me 10. Like, if they put me central, I'm going up striker. If not, like, I'm out wide. So Ed's been on me for years. He's told me for years, like, bro, like, you're like Yaya Toure, like, you need to play in the middle. Like, he's like, when you get going, no one's stopping you. So like, just play in the middle. If I could pick, I'll play 10 and play more central. But these managers, man, they don't believe in the kid, man.
Nah, bro, I'm telling you, listen, man. I think people like, because I always say, like, I don't think I said it to Janelle, but I say, when you're an amateur like us, and you think you're a decent amateur player.
Yeah.
You always like look out for things when you play with people of a higher level to kind of understand why there is a difference in level.
Yeah.
And the way I best describe it is like when playing with yourself is you can do all the things like, for example, that me and Ed can do, obviously more, but you do it at different speed.
Yeah.
It's at different speed. Like your casual speed when you're running around jogging with the ball, you're still covering a lot of space quickly. And that's why I think people deep enough. And that's why, but for me, like I said it, like from the first time I played with you, I said to Ed straight away after, I said, I'll play centre mid. Like you have all the attributes for me to be a centre mid. I don't care what anyone says. So hopefully you eventually get that chance because
hey, hopefully, you know.
Because I think
no, I get told that a lot.
Bro,
honestly,
I'm telling you, you could. No, you could.
I played centre mid once for Haringey because it was literally my birthday as well. On my birthday, we got a red card in centre mid. I was playing 10, so then I had to go centre mid because of the red card. You know, so that game, I was like, oh, centre mid is all right, you know. Even it was hard because we had 10 men, but I wasn't a joke that game. I was just getting it. Because the thing is, because I have so much belief in myself, like when I watch the Prem now, obviously I'm not one of them players that will disrespect Prem players because they're playing Prem. Because when I watch football, I watch it differently to probably normal fans. I watch it in terms of, like, I appreciate what certain players do and what certain players don't. So when I play centre mid, I'm one of the players because I believe in myself so much. If a guy's behind me, I see it as he's behind me. Like, he's not in front of me, so pass me the ball. But when you're in the amateur, like not amateur, but lower level, most players are scared to pass players the ball when someone's near them because they're like, you're not free. But more times on the pitch, especially when you're a centre mid or higher up, you're not going to be free a lot of times. There's going to be someone near you regardless. But the best players can handle the ball in tight spaces. Yeah. That's why the whole Pep and Barcelona thing is. They do little pockets because even if it's tight, they trust their touch so much. One touch will take 3 players out of the game in terms of staying out wide where you can easily bounce it back. But they want to go in the little tight spaces. A one-touch turn, a driving at the back 4, a slip pass. But when I play centre mid that game, I was having a field day, man.
100%. And you know what? That thing you said about how you watch the game differently because obviously you've played it and you obviously come up playing with people of that level who some of them will have gone on to make it. I think what you said there is exactly right about, you know, a lot of times at the lower level or even sometimes at the pro level, there's certain occasions where you look at instances and people won't do the pass there because it looks like there's no option on and it'll look like a break. There's certain players that actually, when you get to that scenario, they're not looking at it as a chance to break down. They're looking at it as, oh, he's got that half yard of space. He's in. I know he can do that flip around the corner and the attack is off.
Yeah.
So that's a small difference. But yeah, it's good that you
100%.
That insight still. But yeah, man, I think so moving on from that experience, obviously now you've had a couple of great seasons on the comeback after your knee injury. And then now, boom, Aldershot Town conference. Yeah. How did that come about and how did that feel?
It felt great. So after, funny enough, after my Haringey year, Aldershot, that the managers now, they were interested in me then. So, but they got appointed about 3 weeks before the season started. But my mindset was, obviously, I wanted to make the jump because I believed in myself. But my brother was like, if they're not trying to sign you straight away, or you're not like a key part of their plan, like you might just be an option. We're gonna try and get the other options, but if they don't work out when they're trying to sign you, he was like, go somewhere you know you're gonna play. So I was like, okay, I'll go Concord. So I went Concord last season, had a great year again. At the end of the year, 12 goals, 14 assists. Obviously, we had COVID and kind of stopped. And I missed about 12, 13 games that last season. I didn't play a lot. I had like little niggling injuries. And I didn't even know their records when I didn't play. They didn't win 1 game.
Hey.
I'm moving like Zaha for Palace. Like, you know when Zaha don't play for Palace, like they might not win a game. Like, but I didn't know that until after the season ended. Like another manager told me. But like last season was when I read, like, obviously you always don't believe like you're a good player, but last season when I kind of proper deeped that teams are more like when they actually try to stop you, like because last season at the start, because I was new to that level, I wasn't new, but because I ain't played it in a while, managers didn't respect me, so they let me have one-on-ones with their fullback. And I was thinking, you can't give me one-on-ones with your fullback the whole game. This is going to be a long 90 minutes for your fullback. You can't do that. You're not looking out for him. I remember one game, because the goalkeeper tried to kick me the ball first minute. I tried to flick it over his head, with it outside my boot. It didn't come off. But that was the first kick that I tried. And then, in 1 second, let me plug in my charger to my phone.
Worries.
So yeah, so I tried to flick, it didn't come off. But then manager was like, he's not good. He ain't got that locker. So I'm on the manager's side. So I turned back like, it's gonna be a long night. It's gonna be a long night for your player now. It's gonna be a long night. That game, I ruined them. I was chopped, megs, run, chop, everything. I was ruined. Oh my gosh, sorry, 1 second.
No worries.
Fullbacks, the camera don't want to stay still.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm killing him. I'll say the first 8 games, I had 3 goals, 3 assists in the first 8 games. So I had a good start.
Okay, yeah.
And then after that is when managers started game planning on. Their plan was stop noobs and Concord can't win. That's what they said. That's what. Cause I had players in other teams. When they're doing analysis on things, we played against Woolston. They ended up winning the league that year and got promoted. They were a good team. But when we played Woolston, this is when I first started deep in, okay, things are different now. Because as soon as I touch the ball, 3 players are on me.
Okay.
One touch. I'm like, so I'm chatting to the right back. I'm like, when are they going to let me have a one-on-one against you? He's like, bro, that's not going to happen. I said, what do you mean? He said, we done analysis on Concord, and all we watched was your tendencies, what you like doing, what you don't like doing, and how to stop you. That's what we watched. Because he said, if we stop you, Concord are not winning. That's all we got to do. Just double team you and not winning. We lost that game 3-0. And I didn't get one-on-one until, I think maybe like the 89th minute. The whole game, as soon as I touched it, 3 men are on me. The right back's on me tight. The centre mid is coming in, the winger coming from the front. So all I had to do, I literally had to just bounce the ball. I couldn't take him on. But usually when people are on me tight, I can still roll you, I can run inside. You let me turn, then it's different. But after that game, I was like, okay. Then for the other teams took that as like the so-called blueprint. So every game after that, I got double team, triple team the whole season. I didn't get no one-on-ones. I only had like the first basic month and a bit when I was having joy. And after that, double team, triple team. And then that's when I was like, okay, like, I must be a good player. When I was telling my brother was like, bro, if you look at all the top players in the world, most of them teams try and nullify their players. He's like, Mourinho is one of the managers. He'll try to take away the best things of other teams to try and capitalize on it. So he's like, bro, you got to take it as a compliment. Last year I was getting fouled every time. Like if I beat a player, they'll just foul me. They just don't want to let me get going because I'm one of the players. If you let me start running that speed, I feel like I'm faster with the ball than off the ball. So if I get going, it's hard to stop me, obviously before I get going. So that's how it was last season. I still ended the year with good numbers, even though I didn't play a lot of games. But that's when I was like, wow, like teams are actually noticing me. When I was injured one game, we played against Bath City. I'm walking around the pitch, and this is mid-game. Their manager was smiling that I didn't play. He was like, oh, Nouble, what's up? I was like, my ankle. He was like, oh, that's unlucky, but I'm buzzing. You're not playing. I'm thinking, managers are buzzing. I'm not playing. Like they're happy. Like I'm not playing. I was like, nah. I must be doing something well. So, and then that year ended up. And then obviously I came Aldershot, and I'll say in terms of level, the difference between I'll say Conference Prem and Conference South, because they are better players in Conference Prem, and everything is a bit sharper. Like now I feel the sharpest I am. This is everyday training instead of part-time. Obviously last year was part-time, so there's still good players like Conference South, but in Conference Prem there's a lot of good players, and the sharpness is just different. Like you got to do things a bit sharper. Yeah. Compared to, that's probably with every level. Like Prem, that sharpness there must be different.
Yeah, man.
It might look slow on TV, but when I went and watched Man United against Colchester, my brother played against Man United in the cup, and watch it is one thing. So I asked my brother like after the game, like Rashford played, Martial played, I don't know who else played, but he was like that. Rashford He said Rashford's sharpness. He said it's different. He said that sharpness is. He said Martial, he'll do little touches just to deceive you. You think you're gonna get there, but he's gone. He's just like everything's just. He said that Prem is different. He played against Tottenham as well before. He said Lamella. He said he's a joke. He said Eriksen. He said you can't touch Eriksen. He said the closer you get to touching Eriksen before the game when you shake hands. He said that's the closer you get to him. This is when he'll sit at Tottenham. Because I'm watching the game, obviously, like I said, I watched the game. When I watched it, Eriksen, from one goal kick, this one I said, yeah, Eriksen's different. He's like this. He's checking his shoulder every time. He's like this. The goal kick comes. He's still checking his shoulder. The ball's already been kicked. He takes a touch and press him this way. He chops it that way and does left foot diag to the winger. But he's already seen it before he even got the ball. I'm just like, these men are just different, man. Like, no, some of these players, man, they're different. But yeah, so Aldershot, it is a good experience, though.
You know, you mentioned at the beginning that Henry was probably someone you base your game around. Obviously, currently watching the Prem now, and you know how sharp it is, and you've watched a few live games. Who would you say is the best Prem player you've seen live? Just because the way you were speaking about Eriksen, there must be something there you're thinking, oh, Eriksen's amazing, he's sharp, but who's the best player I've seen live? I've seen games on TV, I've seen games in person. Who's the sharpest you've seen?
Does that be of now or any time? Like?
Anytime you've seen them live.
Okay.
Anytime.
Oh, sharpest. Tough. Like
give me 3 to 5.
Okay, 3 to 5. Okay, 1. I watched Ozil live. And just the way he just sees passes, and he's like every touch means something. Like the way he passes. So the thing is, like I said, when I watch football different, people think like a pass, like he passes 2 people to make up their mind of what to do with the ball. Like people might not understand, like he doesn't just pass for the sake of he might pass it 2 yards in front of you for you to run onto it when you're on the front foot. Now when people pass behind people and they're trying to run forward, that slows down momentum. Like people might think, unlucky, but he'll pass it there. You don't like a reverse, because I like little reverse passes, like intricate things. You don't want reverse pass. I'm watching the game live. I didn't even see the pass, and I'm in there watching it with him. I'm like, how's man seeing that? And he does it on the reg. So I'm not even an Arsenal fan, but free Ozil, free Ozil. Hey, Ozil, I love him. I'm not even an Arsenal fan, but I'll still think Arsenal best player. He's not even in the team, but he's still their best player.
Yeah,
that's a whole other thing. I said Eriksen. I saw Hazard live. Oh my gosh.
Hazard.
He was really dancing on people, man. Like, I don't even know what he is. Like, when I watched him, I said, yo, I think he might be the best player in the Prem, man. When I watched him after that game, I said, I think he might be the best player in the Prem. I was like, Hazard is different. Some of these players, man, Hazard. The way he was moving on people, the sharpness, the body feints, because he's not even a player that uses like step over a lot. Like he uses it like here and there. But he doesn't even need to use a step. He just some body feints, little touches, gone. Okay, this player, he didn't play in the Prem, but I watched him because he's just one of the all-time great. You know when Dino scored that goal against Chelsea, the shimmy, the knee wiggle outside the box. I was at that game.
Oh, you were at that game?
I was at that game. Oh my god, Dino. Like it took me years later to properly understand who I watched and what I watched. I didn't really appreciate at that time because I was a youngster at the time. I went with my brother because my brother was ball boy at that game, so you can get tickets for your family for ball boy. So me and my dad went, and I'm just seeing someone wiggle it outside the box. People don't understand, you know what outside the box is, and he's doing knee wiggle and just 2 point in like his 6 yard box, like tapping, like he's doing like he's tapping. So Didio, I got a couple of names. I watched Deco when I was at Chelsea. I was ball boy.
Deco.
People don't understand when he came to Chelsea. People think he was like done. Deco was a baller. He was controlling games on the. Telling you could probably go like a cigar, jogged around, little cup in the hand, touch. You're not getting there. 1-2, leave me alone. Cruyff, switch. Even watched Scholes as well. I watched Scholes when they played Royal Balls at West Ham. I was like, this guy,
Baller.
man, this is why he's a baller. But see, there's a lot of players, man, but that's probably about 6. But them man are just top class players.
The maddest thing about Deco that people don't deep is that Deco's first touch is always a ball roll.
Oh, they don't understand.
It's a ball roll.
Like, always. Oh, no, Deco, man.
Hey.
My brother was at Chelsea. He used to tell me stories like about training. He just like, Deco, he says, one of the greatest players he's ever seen. He's like, what he was doing on the calm thing, like his first touch was on point all the time. He said, you can't see Deco with a bad touch. Like he's impossible. Mm-hmm. I'm just like, Deco, when I watched him, he was unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
Sick. But listen, man, getting towards the end, because we appreciate we've already taken up a lot of time in your day, man. And again,
no problem, man.
For anyone that's tuning in, watching this, make sure hit that like button, man, if you're enjoying the content. But yeah, man, just to kind of finish up, I guess it's more like, what are your hopes for rather than the future? Maybe what are your hopes for 2021? And then where do you hope to get to in terms of your career?
Well, for 2021, I'm currently at Aldershot.
Yeah.
Ideally, I don't know how many games are left. We played, I think, 16 games in the league. So probably about 30 league games left. We're still in the cup. So ideally, if I could get, I'll say 20, if I could play 25 games in the league at Aldershot, that would be perfect. If not, I'll have to go on loan and get games. Because I'm seeing it as, I just can't go through a season I'm not playing. Because no player wants to go through that. So I've only got the contract till the summer of Aldershot. So ideally, I want to play. If I don't play, I've got to take my career into my own hands and go on loan. So wherever I go, whether it's Aldershot or on loan, I've got end of year on double figures goals.
Yeah,
I ain't played a lot now, but that's a push I'm putting on myself. I've got to get 10 goals from somewhere. Even if I go goals, I'm getting 10 goals at goals. I'm getting 10 goals before this year ends. Because the last 3 seasons, I've always been in double figures in goals and assists. So I'm saying every year that's the way it's got to be. Even if I don't play it a lot, that's the pressure I put. So if you tell me I've got 12 games to get 10 goals, I'm saying, I'm going to get 10 goals. So that's ideally. Ideally, I want to play with Aldershot and get as many games in Conference Prem because that's a very good level. But in football, there's a lot of things you can't control. So and then for my career, obviously, you always got to aim for the top. So aim for the Prem. You always seen guys like Jamie Vardy, who first Prem game was at 27. So and he's doing unbelievable. Like over 100 Prem goals, score against the big 6 every game. He's becoming a Prem legend from 27. That's crazy. Like when you actually think about it, 27, you're becoming a Prem legend. Like the way he's moving. So ideally, Prem, just so Gary Lineker can mention my name on Match of the Day. When he mentions my name on Match of the Day, Mama made it. I've made it because everyone watches Match of the Day. So if Gary Lineker just be like, oh gosh, this Joel Nouble kid, like his story. What? I'm like, Mama made it. No one chat to me. Gary Lineker mentioned my name. So that's the target. If I make it, I'll be buzzing. If I go on play League One and play years there, if playing league football, I'll be grateful, man.
Do you know what? You know, you're a very positive person. I think, there's going to be a lot of young people watching this who's coming up in the ranks. And obviously you do loan deals and everything. Just give us something short about the positives of going on loan. What are the positives of going on loan?
Yeah, so I'll say playing games. So if any youngsters watching this, I think the biggest thing that youngsters misunderstand is they just feel like I'm at Aldershot, but my mindset is I'm at Aldershot, but if I'm not playing, I'm not really an Aldershot player like that. Like I'm just here, but I'm not playing. Because youngsters will see it as, I'm at a team, but going on loan, you can't gain experience if you're not playing. So me going on loan, I don't see it as, my ego's gone, like I have to take a step down. I don't see it as a step down. That's me playing, getting my name out there, playing games. If you don't play games, it doesn't matter what you're going to game. You're not going to game nothing from sitting on the bench, just watching. You can gain little pieces, but if you're not playing, it doesn't matter. So any youngster that's watching this, don't see us going on loan as a thing of, you're leaving your team. You're not. You can go on loan, play sick, gain experience. And the experience I learned from when I was on loan from Dagenham, them experiences, a game helped me become the player I am now from playing games. The biggest thing is playing games. Like I tell youngsters that I know now who's like got released from academies and they might have to go down to non-league. They see non-league as a thing of, oh, how can I go non-league? Like that's like dead players. There's a lot of good players in non-league, and a lot of them are just at a stage where they don't see ball as a career. They just see it as, that's like my second job. But they probably have a good job somewhere else, get extra money in, so they're comfy. They don't even want to make the step up. I know players who've got offered deals, but the money is not as much as they're making now. So they're like, I've got a family to look after. Why am I going to go and take less money? So there's a lot of good players in non-league. If you drop down to the non-league, get the games. And I always say, if you're good enough, you're going to get picked up.
Yeah.
If you're not, obviously, that football's a cool game. Sometimes the timing is different. Someone gets picked a year before you. You're thinking, okay, picked up better than me. Keep grinding. Me going down to Ryman Prem, I never saw it as, I was at League 2, I kind of go down to Ryman Prem. I saw it as, I had to play football.
Yeah.
If I believe I'm good enough, I'm going to keep making a step up. I made a step from Ryman Prem to Conference South, from Conference South to Conference Prem where I'm at now. I believe in myself that I'm going to get to league football. It might not be next season, it might be the year after, but I know if I'm given a platform and opportunity to play, I'm going to get to league football. And that's, when I'm going to be on FIFA, I might be 52 overall, but I'm going to be on FIFA. So, but any youngsters, get games, man. Get games. Sitting down on the bench or not even being in the squad, but you're just training, that won't benefit you. Get games. There's even a youngster at Aldershot right now who's 18. And I always tell him, I'm like, you're one of the best 18-year-olds I've seen. Like, I've seen a lot of sick 18-year-olds, but he's not getting a chance because he's tough. There's a lot of players in this position. I'm like, bro, you need to get games, bro. I'm like, your talent, his name is Reece Wiley. Sick. Bro, the first session I went Aldershot, yeah, like, he dropped the shoulder on me. And I was like, who's this kid? The man got the ball, dropped the shoulder, boom, left man. Like, I'm still going that way. I'm like, wow, like, man got confidence like that. Like, everyone's telling me, oh no, we got a good kid, like, he's a good talented kid. And after that session, like right now, like me and him, like that's like my younger. Like me, every day I'm on him, like in training, I'm like, bro, you're good. Like, don't let your standards drop. I know you're not playing first team. Every session, like, you better lead a session saying, I'm the best player here. Say that you're better than me. That's how you should believe. You should believe you're the best player on the pitch. Doesn't matter who's there, you're 18, 19, 20. If you're good enough and believe in yourself, believe you're the best. That's my mindset. Even when I'm not playing, like, people be thinking, why are you so confident? Why are you believing in yourself? I'm like, if I don't believe in myself, who's going to do it? I can't rely on managers to even put the arm around me. Like what Jalil said earlier in terms of, you asked him like what sort of player he is, if he needs an arm round or someone. Like, I don't need an arm round. I've got enough arms for myself. All you got to do is put me out there, tell me what tactics I'm doing. But I know my ability, what I can do. So I'll just say, youngsters, get games. If you're a manager, I always tell them, if you're a manager, you see a youngster, he's 20, he's got 80 games in non-league, or he's in the academy playing 23s. He's played men's football. You're thinking, wow, he's played men's football, so he probably might be more adjusted to it than an under 23s player. Yeah. And then, because under 23s, don't get me wrong, if you're 18, that's different. But if you're like 20, 21, 22, you're thinking, oh, I can't be in under 23s my whole life. Yeah. Go out there, get games first team, like get that experience, because I'm telling you, that's going to be what you need. Because I've seen a lot of players go from under 23s, like let's just say Arsenal, Tottenham, come down to non-league. When it hits them, they're like, bro, this is a different world. But if they went on learn earlier, they could have gained that experience, because a lot more physical players here, they don't care you was at Tottenham. You can't come and say, yeah, I was at Tottenham. And what? Show me that you was at Tottenham, because they'll do a mad tackle on you. They don't care about your track record. You could come in a range. That range in with you on a pitch. Like, you're going to get smashed regardless. So I'll tell them, get games, man. These youngsters, I see a lot of good youngsters just think, yeah, let me just stay here. I'm not going on loan because I have to go down and drop down to a level that I shouldn't be playing at. Bro, if you're not playing first team, you could be at Tottenham or Arsenal or Chelsea. If you're not playing first team, don't say you're a first team player. You're not. You're not playing. Yeah. You're in the team, but you're not playing. Like, even though I'm always I play some games, my mindset is, until I'm starting and playing consistently, I can't go around moving like I'm an Aldershot player. Just like at the moment, I'm there, but that's the way my mindset is. Obviously, I'm employed and I'm signed, but because I put that own pressure on myself in terms of I've got to find my way into getting to the team.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's loads of things I can't control. The man doesn't pick you. The man doesn't pick you. Like that's football. Like it happens at every level. Like, but I know one way or the other, I'm gonna make it in league football. It's gonna be either with Aldershot, God willing, because that's where I'm at now. It is. If not, I'm gonna make it some other way. So I know I will.
No, that's great. A lot of great advice that you've given there. I think that, like Joel said, the mindset you have, it's a very strong mindset about dealing with setbacks, but also understand the importance that it's not about status. I think, like people think that I'm at Arsenal, I'm at Chelsea, and they just and it's a nice phrase to say to people because people will be like, "Oh, this guy that plays for Arsenal, plays for Chelsea." But like you said, they may not be getting any game time, and then when you do make that eventual step down, if you do, then how is that going to hit you? Because now you've built up like your persona around the fact that you are Arsenal, Chelsea. As an individual, and that's what you've done there. So you've definitely given some great advice there to people coming up, and people that everyone's going to suffer some rejection of some form, but it's how you come back from that 100%. And keeping your goals the same thing and the ambition high. So you've definitely given some brilliant advice there, bro. So appreciate for that, and I'm sure someone's going to
my pleasure,
man. But for the last couple of minutes, we do sound a bit more casual, man. So we're just going to ask you some questions, bro.
All right,
so first of all, who are your favorite musicians out there at the moment, man? Who you listening to? Who you vibing with?
Okay. Well, the Spotify top, the 2020 thing, just got done. So so my favorite all time is Drake. I'm a Drake fan.
Drake, man,
that's my favorite all time. He can get me through any mood. Like any mood. If I'm sad, I'll go old school Drake. If I want a bit of gas, I can go Drake. Like anything. I just put Drake on shuffle. Greatest hits. Talk to me, Drake. So Drake, he's my favorite. But who I've been listening to a lot is Potter Paper. I've been rinsing him. Oh my god.
Who's that?
What? Potter Paper. I've been rinsing. Oh my. John, you need to listen to him. Honestly.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I've been rinsing him. If you ask Ed, but I've been a Potter Paper fan since school days, so it's nothing new. Like, obviously, he was in jail for a couple of years, so when he came out, released the album, I've been listening to it. Who else? I listened to Future. I listened to old school Benny Banks. Benny Banks has released a new song as well. Eye for Eye, good song. I like Benny Banks. See, for me, it goes up and down. Like, because sometimes I'll go now. I'll be listening to old school Grams. I'm listening to old school Skepta.
Oh yeah, classic.
Wretch.
Wiley. Them man.
I'm up and down. When I go to R&B, there's Usher. There's Boys to Men.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like R. Kelly, he's got bangers, but I don't really listen to him because that's R. Kelly.
Yeah, that's a bit political.
I might just head but that catalog is so big.
Yeah.
So many bangers, but if I'll say top three because my genre just changes. I listen to everything. I'll say Drake, Potter Paper, and Future. I'll say that's my top three at the moment.
Top three. Still. Do you want to ask about the players?
Yeah. So just a quick one. I just wanted to know who's been the best player you played against and the best player you played.
Whew.
How much time have we got?
Okay, best player I played with, I'll say is between two. I played with a lot of sick players, man. I've been blessed to play with a lot of sick players. If I had to pick top two, is Jeremy Bogger.
Okay.
He's at Sassuolo.
Oh, Sassuolo,
yeah. All I'm saying is, these Chelsea youngsters now and Arsenal youngsters and like Mount and Saka and all them, man. Them men are sick players. But I promise you, if Jamie Bogger got the same opportunity as them, man, there's levels, bro.
Really?
Like people don't. No, John.
But he's ripping it up though in Serie A, I swear.
No, he's ripping it up.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. People are like, Jamie Bogger. I'm like, no, he shouldn't be ripping it up. Like, he should have been. Like, I'm not surprised. He was a joke, bro. Jamie Bogger. If you ask any of these Chelsea man, any of them, I'll even ask them. What was Jamie Bogger at Chelsea? They'll tell you he was different. Obviously, like I said, football politics. So I don't really know the backstory, but something happened, so they weren't really happy with him, so they stopped him from playing, and obviously he had to leave. Cool. But him, I'm telling you, Mount and that man, top players, top players. I wish them all the best. But Jerry Bugger, there's levels, man.
Hey.
And I'll say Ruben Loftus-Cheek, because I played with him from 6, obviously, to 14. So before we went to Chelsea, there was like a little trial game. I've known him since then, and he was a joke, man. So obviously, probably for his career now, he's probably got to leave Chelsea. I always wanted him to like play for Chelsea, but obviously there's a lot of good players there. But yeah, I'll say James Bugger and Ruben, them two, top notch. Played against. I'll talk about best player I played against in non-league when obviously academy. So non-league, there's a guy called Erhan Otsma. He's at Charlton. Obviously, when I played against him, he was at Dulwich Hamlet at the time. He's like 5'2", 3. They call him I forgot what country he's from. But whatever country he's from, they call him that country's Messi.
Yeah.
Because he's short. And in that game, he was a joke. But for like 2 years when he was at that, I think he got like 20 plus league goals. Okay. And he's like a 10. So he's not even like a striker. Like he played 10, he got 20 plus league goals. When he went Peterborough, then went Walsall, and now he's at Charlton. But his name's like Erhan Utsma. If you go on YouTube and watch his clips when he was at Walsall or something, he's a joke.
Yeah.
In non-league, probably the best player I played in non-league. When I was in like academy football, I'll probably say Lucas Piazon.
Oh, Piazon.
When I played against Chelsea, oh my God. He was a joke, man. He was a joke. I don't know where he is now, but
that's the crazy thing.
When I played against him, he was different. Like even it got to a point where like you're scared to go near him. You know you're gonna get ripped. No one likes getting ripped, like because one time he done like a touch against me that didn't make no sense. So like they're bouncing it, but like I'm not really pressing, so they're bouncing it. And when I go press, when he fakes, like he's gonna like open up when he chops back. So I think he's gonna open up. So I'm like this, but he's gone that way. I'm like, where is this guy going? Like after that, I didn't get near him again. I said, you can have the ball there, bro. Just keep the ball to yourself. I'm looking at the back four like, bro, I'm not even a defender. Why am I helping you man out? Like you man deal with him. Let me just focus on going forward. So I'll probably say them two, Erhan and Lucas Piazon, good players, like probably their players. And when I play against Lucas Piazon, like I said earlier, in terms of when you see what higher level players do, that's when I'm thinking like they got that sharpness. Because I've played against like even in goals in summertime, like I played against a lot of like good young players. I played against Reece Nelson before like he blew, and Iwobi when he was still at Arsenal, and Casey Palmer and all these like other sick young players. Like, when I played against Iwobi, after that I said I can't. Obviously he was getting a little slack by like Arsenal fans and I was like, if he's this sharp, what's like Ozil, Sanchez when he was at Arsenal? I'm thinking, what are these like next level people? How sharp are they? Because I played against Iwobi, I thought Iwobi was sharp. When I played in goals, like he was doing 1-2s and that. Because like when it just comes down to ability, like touches and all that, I believe touch and everything. Like I'm not saying like I'm on their level, but I know them and are not far off. Like just little touches, but the sharpness, the speed and everything, that's the difference. Like because a lot of times when Prem teams play like Champ or League 1 or League 2, like in cup games, the League 1, League 2 Champ teams, like when they do nice passes and do nice things, people are shocked. Like, oh my gosh, how do they get Prem players? No, them man can still kick the ball, but a little sharpness and little intricate things and the way they see things, that's when the difference is. So yeah, like I'll probably see Erhan, Lucas Piazon, top draw, man. Top draw players, man.
That's sick, man. And last thing, man, what's been helping you get through the year in terms of it's been a rough year, man, with the whole coronavirus pandemic, everything down, in and out, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5 soon coming. Bro, what's been keeping you going through, man?
Well, like I said, I'm lucky because football for me at the moment hasn't changed. So like I got training tomorrow. So
sick.
It's like it's still the same. So that's the only thing that's been the same. And I was never really an outgoer. So before the lockdown, I wasn't really going out like that anyway. I was literally just football, chill, So, because we're on lockdown, what am I going to do? Football chill anyway. So, it's been the same. The only thing that was long was when they actually stopped my season. Because when I was at Concord, we stopped the season and we still had, I think, about 10 league games. We was in the semi-final of the FA Trophy. And if you get to the final, you play at Wembley.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that annoyed me. Because I didn't even care about the league. Because in the league, we was like 15th. So we wasn't going to make playoffs. But when he said, I can't play in the semi-final or final to get to Wembley, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
that's what really hurt me. Yeah, like, because of COVID, stopped it. Oh, I said, and in the quarterfinal, man played the quarterfinal game injured. Like, before that, I was out for 7 weeks. See, John, I don't know if Ed showed you, because I put it, obviously, me and Ed were in a chat. I showed Ed the tackle, that kept me up. But if you see the tackle, if I start the video, the tackle's awful. Like, the guy smashed my ankle.
Show it to me, yeah.
It smashed my ankle. So I was out for 7 weeks because of that. But the quarterfinal for the cup is coming. I ain't trained nothing. The man does that to me at Noobs, that we really need you for this cup game. Like, we really need you. Like, can you play in it? And I'm like, if I win the semi-final, I can play at Wembley. I said, I'm playing. Man played in the game. They strapped up my whole foot. Man took painkillers. I'm playing the game probably like 35%. Like, I ain't trained. Like, I can't really run around. We win that game. I score in that game. Like, it's funny because when I'm playing, everyone can tell. Because fans don't know that I'm injured. Because I'm not doing what I usually do. So when I'm getting it, I'm not driving at players. Because I can't really drive at players. Like, there was a time when I tried to do a step over and knock it. But when I done the knock, I'm like, wow, man can't get there. Like, my ankle's a bit sore. So, like, man, I have to just get it, just pass it. Well, cool, we win that game. I play injured. When COVID comes, they're like, yeah, season done. We're not even going to play the FA Trophy. I'm like, so man, just done all that. But obviously, I went on to Aldershot. So when they play the semi-final, they win. So they're going to, so they're in the final right now. They're going to play at Wembley, but I don't know when they're going to do it because of this whole COVID thing. But that was the only thing that annoyed me, like, this year. But other than that, like I said, football is still the same. Like, train every day, come home, chill. So nothing really changes, to be fair.
No, that's sick. No, that's sick, man. Appreciate it, man. I think
it's my pleasure, man.
It's been a great discussion for me and Jalil, man. I think definitely learn a lot about, like, what it's actually like inside the game from a young age all the way to where you are now. Still at 24. Still 24, right? Yeah. So yeah, still very young. So I'm sure there's a bright future, hopefully, on the come up. Go through the leagues, like you said, man. And obviously, fully rooting for you, man. And yeah, man, just
appreciate it, man.
Thanks again for coming on, man, and giving all that wonderful insight, man.
No, my pleasure, man. My pleasure.
Yeah, man, and therefore, hopefully, we can do this again soon.
No, 100%. Anytime, man. Anytime.
100%. All right, man. Well, appreciate that. For anyone who's watched, man, make sure to, like I said, Joel plays for Aldershot, so if you guys want to check out, like, how they're doing, I'm sure you can see everything on Google, BBC Football, everything else. And yeah, man, hopefully wish you best of luck for the season, whether you stay or end up going on loan. And yeah, man, hopefully you get your double digit target, innit?
Hopefully, yeah, that's my target. All
right, bro. Take care, innit?
Take care, man.
Take care, Jalil.
My pleasure.
Take care, in a bit.
In a bit.